Yeah, man. We're ready to go.
Is it recording too?
Oh, you know what? Before we get started, Troy, can you do the honors?
Oh
Yes.
So you gotta be the log man, bro. Since y'all on the edge.
On the edge over there.
Yeah.
What's up with some logs, man?
That'll work.
Nah, just one. We just want to do one at a time because we don't want it to get too high. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all, look, we're going to use part of the set to keep the set going.
You need some help. You got one hand on the cigar, one hand on the pallet.
This is how it goes. Watch your steps. Watch your steps on them chords.
Uncut, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, dog.
Man, we ready, man. This is a long time coming, Al.
It's a long overdue, man. This was
Long
the idea.
overdue, man.
This is the idea I had a while ago. I mean, I just been. So you guys probably don't know, but I attend at my church. I attend couples class, and couples class is basically a bunch of married folks up in there talking about, you know, the Lord and following Christ in your marriage, and you know, doing all that stuff, right? So this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I just didn't really have the right, like I didn't know who I wanted to do it with. You know what I'm saying? Like the folks in my couples class, I ain't lying. I'm the youngest one in there, and I'm 40.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, we the youngest ones in there. 40 years old. So
happy birthday though.
Appreciate you. That was December. Yes, sir.
Salute.
Yeah,
I got 15 days of mine.
Oh, what's coming up next, bro? What we doing?
Yeah.
What we doing for the birthday?
We going to the Barbecue and Bourbon Festival in Atlantic Station. It's the weekend after, but that's what we're doing.
Okay.
That's a classic.
Well, speaking of bourbon and barbecue, that kind of is a good transition. Go ahead and tell us your name, Hoyt, and who you are and what you do, and you know, marriage and entrepreneurship. Go ahead, run with it.
All right. Well, my name's Hoyt. Born and raised here in Atlanta. So I'm an adult beverage expert. And I know people say that, and when you hear that, this means maybe he just drinks a lot. So I drink a little bit. I do like to indulge every once in a while. But no, when I say I'm an expert, so I started off, I was a craft beer ambassador for a beer distributor here, so being a beer expert. I was the state sales rep for a vodka-based lemonade, and I've always enjoyed just learning more and more about different adult beverage, beer, liquor, whatever it may be, and educating people on that. But so I decided I wanted to start my own business with that. So what I have now is an adult beverage education and travel business. Basically, I curate events here in Atlanta around adult beverage education. One of my favorite events I did was I featured a couple breweries, Black-owned breweries. There's the first Black brewery here in Atlanta was called Hip and Hops, down in East Atlanta. Teamed up with them, had an event there, and also teamed up with two other Black beer brands. They don't have their.
I hate to cut you off. Is that where you met your wife?
No.
She was there.
She was there.
She was there.
She was there.
She was there. She was there. She was there.
She was there.
It was still
first time
early
I met
stages.
his wife.
Okay.
That's when you met her.
Yeah.
I actually,
She wasn't white then.
She was
wasn't
not.
white, yeah.
And she might not even been a girlfriend at the time, but whatever. She was there. I actually met her in the 8th grade. Yeah. So that's a story for.
That's another story.
Another
We'll get to that.
story.
We'll
Yeah,
get to
we'll
that.
get to that.
So down in Hip and Hops, and then I also featured a couple other breweries, Atlanta brew companies. They don't have their own brewery, but they're based out here in Atlanta. The first one was Down Home Brewing, which is actually Georgia's first Black-owned beer brand. It's actually a good friend of mine. I call him Wham. He's actually my frat brother, root to the good bros. And then also Conzo Brewing, which is the second Black-owned beer brand here in Atlanta. So just giving people a time to talk about their beer brand, exposing it to a group of people that maybe won't know much about it. You know, us Black folks, we love our liquor, but craft beer may not be something we know a lot about. So just educating people on that. And the second part about my business is travel. So basically, I like to take people places and we go drink together. So we're gonna learn some while we're there, but we're also gonna drink. So
Yes,
that's what I do.
Amen.
Business
Amen.
and pleasure
Work hard.
at the same time. Exactly.
And I'm just gonna give y'all a little tidbit. So
And alcohol at the same time.
if you incorporate a business that is on adult beverage education, when you go out to drink, it is a tax write-off because it's for educational purposes.
I love it. Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart man.
I actually love drinking. You always just throw some knowledge. You're like, hey man, this has vanilla with a nutty extract.
Yeah.
But I even like even the liquors I drink now, like the tequilas and the beers. I'm not sniffing it like a sommelier and trying to figure out what's the flavor profile, so to speak, of the liquor. And I give thanks to Hoyt for putting me on that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I like people to try things that, as I say, that aren't rapped about. There's a lot of great brands out there that aren't in the mainstream. There aren't a music mogul promoting them, but they're great brands. And especially here in Atlanta, especially the black community, we only, for the most part, only drink what we see or what somebody promotes. So there's a lot of great brands that, in my opinion, can be a lot better than some of these promoted brands, and also less expensive. A lot of these brands, Japan, their price is based on the advertisement. When 3 years ago, before anyone knew about them, they may have been this price. They got a little publicity now. Now they're twice as much because they know people want to drink it because somebody said it in the song. But there's a lot of great brands out there. Not talking bad about anybody who may promote a brand, but there's a lot of other things out there that you can learn about.
Awesome. That's beautiful. And I'm glad that you are our drinking ambassador. Because you're gonna be bringing the drinks to the podcast.
Man. He keep the party going.
Keep
man.
the party going.
He that guy.
dog.
Started bartending in college, and everybody wanted to be the friend of the bartender.
That is.
Thinking about it, I was bartending and actually got Alan a job at the same spot.
I showed it. I worked at Red Lobster for the summer.
Yeah, I got Alan a job. And then he like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm out this bitch. I'm like, wait a minute, I referred you. You go, how I'm gonna look?
Like, nah, dog. Mama said I only work during the summer, dog, not the school year. I ain't got to be on the books, dog. Yes, sir. Well, that's good, Hoyt. Go ahead, Troy. Go ahead and let the people know who you are and what you about.
So my name is Dr. Troy Nunn. Put some respect on my name.
Doctor.
So me and my brother, we started a company called Brain Range Solutions back in 2009.
2009, yeah.
So it's about to be our 15th reunion.
Woo,
We need a party.
15 years in the game, bro.
Big. 15 years is a long time.
In business,
Most companies fail
in the first year. Yeah.
And then on top of that, 9 out of 10 companies fail in the first 5 years after they succeed after the first year.
Yep.
So being 15 years is something to really praise. Our company does a lot of technical development. So we do software development, mobile apps, web apps. We're in the AI space for the most part, and we're doing a lot of things that helps with business processes, allow you to automate your company in such a way where you can be able to make money in your sleep.
Growing scale companies, bro. Using
So
tech.
our whole thing is we're here to grow. We're here to help scale companies. I would say in the last 5 years, we helped over 400 companies grow. Still moving forward, and we're still doing big things about it. Trap, what you got?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, we got this. Well, one thing you said that I really like is like helping people make money while they sleep. Man, passive income is the best thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
You not doing it and you still making money. You not completely hands-on doing what it needs to do to make money, but your company does it even when you're out. When you're out with your wife, when you're playing with your kids, you're still making money. Passive income is the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just say, I remember when you was working and still running your business at the same time. I know Travis was teaching.
I taught.
He was teaching the
Oh.
students.
I went full time in the business 2 years. I think it was 2011. So I went full time there. Troy went full time 2014. Because Troy was getting it, so I'm the CEO, so I'm the guy who hired Troy. So he's the doctor, I'm his boss. You want to put that out there? You know what I'm saying? So, and it was about Troy. So when Troy got his PhD, I went ahead and started the company. And then from there, once he finished his PhD, then he came on full time into the company. So we already had 5 years underneath our belt when Troy came in. So it gave him a platform that he didn't have to go work. He can come straight in full time. As we built, as I spent the first 5 years with Troy's help, because we did a lot of stuff while Troy was in his PhD program. But we actually scaled and grew the 5 years so Troy can go full time into it. So yeah, man, it's one of those things where you work hard, you play hard. And we did a lot of working hard. And as you guys know, because we homies, all family, we play hard too with it.
Yeah, definitely. And you
back when we were single.
Back when we were single.
Back when we were
we
single.
still party hard. We just party hard. But
We party hard in Atlantic Station. I'm gonna take a personal toast to that.
I just want to say something here because I have something that I have in the back of my mind that I want to bring up. Now, for everybody listening, virtually, I think it's 92% of African American businesses employ nobody. That means they literally, it's the entrepreneur who's starting the business, and then that's it. They have no employees. So the fact that, because we have a problem, that's to me that's a problem with the economic gap. You know what I'm saying? We're starting businesses, but we're not bringing our own people on to help that economic gap. You know what I'm saying? And I know you guys, I know Troy's probably you guys are salaried when it comes to your business, but you guys also hire independent contractors. Yeah. You guys also hire marketers, sales. You have a full-fledged business that's run, 24/7 damn near. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I told Troy earlier today, I said, man, bro, it's not a real business unless you can run it from your cell phone. So like if you gotta sit down and start doing what I call the frontline work, right? That's the work that, we all gotta get there, gotta do it at one point. But like at some point you gotta figure out how to, as a founder or a business owner, fire yourself and put somebody in that spot so that you can focus on growing the company. And so it was important to us, and we're still working on it. Like I still sometimes, I started as a developer, developing apps, but I told Troy when he came on, it might have been a few years ago, I said, bro, I can't develop apps no more, man. It's not my skill set.
Yep.
Like I'm the rainmaker. Our name of our company is Brain Rain Solutions. Mm-hmm. I'm the rainmaker. He's the brainiac.
There it is.
Right. So my job is to go out, find clients, grow the company, making sure that we're on the right track, hold the vision. Troy's job is he's the guy who runs the company. So he runs the operations, the technical teams, and so forth. So our company actually, since we started, grew from just software development services to owning software companies. So over time, our messaging had to pivot where now
these niggas got money.
So so now it's about like long-term ownership. And bro, that's a fact. That's important for us as Black men.
Yep.
Like you talked about people who haven't hired their first employee. It's hard to grow what I call enterprise value, like sell your company later on if you're the only person who's working that company. We call it key man risk, right? It's that one person who's the key man. No investor wants to see that person potentially leave or go, and then they lose their whole entire investment aid. So they'd rather not invest in that company. Mm-hmm. So that was important for us from our standpoint from the beginning is to, grow real companies. And now we got companies, man. How many portfolio companies we got, Troy? I want to say maybe, 8 or 9. Yeah. 8 or 9. Half of them we don't even touch, bro. It's all passive. Like I'm one of the companies I meet once a week with the founding team to give technical advice. The other company who's there in $1 million in revenue, We won't even once a year shareholders meeting. So like all the investors and owners come together. Um, and so now it's like we got companies where each one of them do different things, but there's different levels of operational work that we got to do in each of them. And we prefer to view ourselves as almost investment bankers or technical advisors to these companies rather than in the company working in the company. We stay on top of the company, working on the company.
That's
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, the main issue with single founders is you have to diversify risk. So if you by yourself, like Travis mentioned, if you go out, something happened to you, that's the end of the company.
That's it.
But if you had enough people in place that if you go out, the company still thrives, then now the risk is lower.
Right.
So the whole purpose of bringing on more people is to duplicate yourself, as well as lower the risk for the company. So if I'm an investor, I can know that, like Travis mentioned, there's no key man. I can be able to scale the company nicely without pretty much removing anybody from the company.
And most people don't realize that when you're duplicating yourself, you're actually getting paid off that duplication. So that person that's working for you, you're making money. You're literally like, it's almost like you're getting a little top end off of what you're getting in,
bro.
And to me, labor is the ultimate way to making to the bankroll. The more bodies I got working for me, the more money I can bring into the more money and the less work I got to do.
So one of the best ways I've heard to explain that is, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people working than 100% of
me.
one person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, because when that one person isn't working,
J. Paul Getty, is that was the person said that?
probably my dad told me, but probably.
Yeah, that was the guy. Because your
Yeah.
dad told me too, but I don't remember the name.
Yeah. Now you know my dad knows I don't listen all the time. But yeah, I love that. And before we go too deep in that, we still have one more person to introduce over here.
Oh yeah,
we got
to introduce that, bro. We was about to get into the soup and the nuts over here.
Get into it, man.
Get into it, man. Start talking about how to grow.
Well, again, I'm the host of the show. My name is Alan. And yeah, I mean, I own a media company, a small video media company here in Atlanta. Some of my clients been Truist, NFL, McDonald's, Lexus.
Wow.
Let's see. There's more. There's a bunch of other stuff that I've smaller businesses, individual stuff as well. Film a television show called Angler's Paradise on Outdoor TV. Just a lot of different things that I've been involved in over the course of quite a few years. Been in business. Let's see. I left Coca-Cola. They walked me out the door with about 10K in my pocket. They walked me out, gave me a severance, and from there I never looked back at a W-2. That was probably 2007, 2008, maybe something like that. So yeah, once I left there, it was I started my business in the strip clubs, filming strippers.
Interesting.
Take a couple steps back. My first job out of...
Well, you single, you must have not been married at that
I
point.
was not married. I was not married. But that's, believe it or not, that's kind of how I found my wife. And I'll explain
What
that.
stripper? You can't start a line like that and say explain it later, because now everybody thinks your wife's a stripper.
They gotta listen to the whole episode to learn.
Yeah,
that.
you're going to have to listen to
You
the
gotta listen to the whole
episode.
episode.
That's the cliffhanger.
That's the hook,
My
man.
wife is not a stripper, though. But I did
Ain't nothing
date,
wrong,
I
man.
did have one. Was dating one before my wife. And yeah, so, making a long story short, I just tried to... I developed a business with video, and that is not what I graduated college with. I graduated with an MBA in finance and a bachelor's degree in marketing. So I have no videography background, no cinematography background. It's just something that I enjoy doing. And I was like, fuck it, let me just turn it into a business. Like, let's just go. You know what I'm saying? I hired a buddy of mine at the time. Had an employee for a few years there, and we did a lot of work. Recently, we've parted ways, And I recently started a new video company. Well, I have a new video product, I should say, which is a legacy video, which we'll get into. Hopefully, we'll be doing one for. I really want to do one for Grandma Nunnally soon, but I don't think she's able to remember a whole lot.
She remembered a lot of old stuff.
She do.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it's
long
old.
term
Yeah.
memory is strong.
Okay, long-term memory strong. Well, that's what we need, because we need the stories. We need that stuff that don't nobody know that she can tell us to keep the family going, to preserve.
Well,
those
guess what?
memories.
We're gonna need your help. We got a family reunion in Atlanta this was grandma's
July.
July, so it's my grandmother's mother's side. So
Got you.
we got a uncle that I think is supposedly, I think he's 100 and something years
Yeah,
old.
grandma turned 90.
And grandma
And-
turning 90 in a couple months. Yeah.
We say family because we all are family. We're all a cousin or a cousin of a cousin. So Hoyt's my cousin-in-law. He's like he ain't even like a step cousin. He's a real cousin because I've known him basically my whole life. And Troy and Travis, their mom and my mom are sisters. So we're cousins, we're first cousins.
Yeah, so yeah, the twins are the relation. So my dad and the twins' dad were brothers. The twins' mom and Alan's mom was
So we the
So
big
that-
connectors.
so it's yeah. So but hey, we
It don't
family.
matter.
We family.
We
big
family.
family.
We
Yeah.
family.
family.
We family.
Yeah, y'all want to put another one?
We're gonna put
Put another one.
because of the
And-
smoke.
And I just want to make one thing clear about this family. This family, when we lock you in, shawty, we lock you in, shawty.
Yeah, it's family, man. And we all
When you family,
when you family,
you
family, bro.
family.
And I
So-
tell that we got people that work with us since
You got-
close to 10 years now.
Right.
Oh, you want to show out?
Because and no matter where they go in life, they always like, hey, they family, and they know that like they can come back if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like once you in a circle, you in a circle.
We in the circle. We try to take care of you if you in the circle. We ain't trying to make sure you good.
Yeah, we got to get that smoke because the smoke coming in the
It's all
camera
good.
feed.
It's all good. It'll clear out in a little bit. We got this.
Part of the ambiance.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was telling you before before we started. I was like, man, that smoke might get in the way.
Yeah. As long as we keep it hot, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
It just
I
it
came
can't die
back.
down.
I
Can't
came
die
back
down.
bearing beers. Got some dark beers. Got a little fruit punch IPA, which is interesting. If anybody needs another beverage over here,
Yeah, I seen those gummy IPA, those gummies in the store. Like everything's gone
Pass that
fruity.
down.
Everything's gone fruity. You know me, I'm more of a transmigration of souls. Or
I love
a
Transmigration.
little victory.
Sad
Golden
that
Monkey.
Orpheus closed their brewery.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So, I live in a transitional neighborhood, so the beer selection wasn't the greatest around the corner from mine. But right there on Pryor in University.
Was that like a tower? Not that tower.
What's it? It's like, huh?
I said it's transitional, but the folks who be selling the beers, they be nice.
It's a liquor store. You got to be nice. You want people to come back.
Bro, one thing about like the hood liquor stores is that they the hood liquor store. So they don't have craft beers, but they got a good selection if you like lit, you know what I'm saying? Like
Random fact. The Atlanta market is one of the largest liquor markets in the world.
first off, I want to say that I didn't mean to call y'all hood neighborhood the hood, because I know y'all live, because I said the hood liquor store. The transitioning, because y'all neighborhood are actually growing up. The second is like growing. The second thing is, it's because black folks drink a lot of liquor.
Black folks drinking, yes.
And this is one of the biggest and liquor is part of the black culture. And so that's why it's like one of the biggest markets in the world, is because it's part of the culture.
So
and it's
it-
a party.
so-
I mean, it's
I'm
parties.
starting to learn cigars are starting to be, because every time I
Yeah.
go to a cigar bar in Atlanta,
It's full of black folks.
it's all black folks.
It's
Like,
full
I
of black
haven't been
folks.
to like a strong cigar bar where it's like,
That's true.
You want to know
Even-
why? Because you haven't been one on where I live at.
See, they say
Yeah,
I-
well,
And
I'm on
with-
the outside.
Alan lives in the opposite of whatever the hood is.
and when I say the north side, bro, you north, like,
no, he ain't like far north like that.
bro, he's
He-
far as fuck
He-
north.
He like at the top part.
He almost in a different area
He
code.
the
No, he
Nah, so put it to you this was it was about a 40-minute ride down here, 45-minute ride
Ain't
down
that
here, but
bad.
that's with traffic.
That's not that bad for Atlanta though.
And you got to realize, well, here's a kicker. I got the peach pass, so you know what I'm
Okay.
saying. I don't see the first half of the traffic because I'm flying down in the get
That's
by
how
lane.
far you know Wade is. He has a peach
You got a
pass.
peach pass. Well, you gotta
That's-
have a peach
When you
pass.
have a peach pass, that means you far.
Because we don't have peach passes
I said, we
in
got
Atlanta.
the HOV
Atlanta.
lane.
HOV
I'm
lane.
probably,
hey, drop in the
I'm
car.
probably 35 miles from these boys, man. Straight up, 35 miles.
Hey, that's not that
It's
bad.
not that bad.
Not that bad.
When it's no traffic out there.
Is it a lot of folks that live in your neighborhood that come into the city?
Hell yeah, for sure. You got to realize something. Where my parents live in Johns Creek, there was nothing there 20 years ago. 30 years ago, there was nothing there. Where I live in Swanee, there was nothing there 15 years ago. And you got Brazelton, which is north of me, which is where all the money at now.
Where's the Mall of Georgia? Is that?
It's north. It's south of Brazelton, but it's one exit north of where I live.
Oh, damn.
Exit
Mall of
115.
Georgia, dog.
Exit 115 Mall of Georgia. I'm 111.
Hey, guess what? That's how you know it's not Atlanta, because he gave us the exit number. He didn't give us a name, he gave us the exit number. That's how you know it's not
Swanee
Atlanta.
Dam Road, exit 111. But yeah, I'm a little bit further out, but I love it up there. My wife loves it out there.
It got one of the best school
The
districts.
school
bro.
district is top notch.
Top
Yeah.
notch, bro.
In the last 3 years, I can tell you right now, my house has appreciated 100%.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so let's talk about that importance of that solid foundation, that marriage. You know,
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Troy's one of the best. Troy, let me say this: Troy is without a doubt. I would say he's a leader of the family. Out of all the Nunnallys, the way he leads his household is fucking phenomenal. It is exceptional. It is by far the way I feel like we all would like to lead our household. And the way you and your wife have things set up over there and the way y'all operate y'all's household together, with you being the head of the household, it's a masterpiece. It's like I mean, if it was a painting, it should be in a museum. Like
Mona
Go
Lisa.
ahead, speak more.
I appreciate that, though.
Hey, boy, he just gave you some flowers, man. Yeah.
Flowers. I appreciate that.
Shit.
I appreciate that. Valentine's Day coming up and everything. But yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't always like that. And of course, everybody say communication is one of the biggest things that you need to do, and that's what we had to do. I'm a quiet guy by nature. So in order to really step up in the family, you really got to have a strong communication system. And so every single week, we always talk about something that's in the family. We don't deter from it. And if you know my wife, she'll make sure that we bring up the top.
Mm-hmm.
She's not the type of wife that's kind of passive. She's more active. And she is
I agree with that.
active, borderline aggressive. Shout out to my wife, though I love her.
I want to point out that
Oh,
instead of
I
agree
forgot to
before
tell
you
you
said
guys-
she was aggressive. I want to point that
I
out.
forgot to tell you guys, if you guys want to speak to the camera, you speaking to that camera right there. That's y'all's like
That's our camera right
zoom-in camera right there, and then ours is over there.
Oh, okay.
Alright, you know.
Yeah, so
If you got something you want to say to the camera, you just point to that one
hey, man, I love you.
I don't. We're not saying that. So, Troy's wife, I didn't say you were aggressive.
So I would say it's, in order to build a foundation, you got to work on it. You may start off with a foundation on sandy ground, but you have to work on it to make it rocky and a strong foundation. Of course, our foundation is biblical, so we start with God first, and the way that God loved the church is the way that we should do that in our family. A husband should love his family. So we have a biblical foundation. So we
Amen,
do
brother.
a lot of biblical work. I've done more work. I was telling Travis the other day, I've done more work on our family over the past 3 months than I probably did over my entire marriage. So
Wow.
I did, like you said, I did couples.
Yep.
So over the past month, we've been doing couples.
Oh, church, couple classes of church.
Over the last month. I've done couples therapy
Mm-hmm.
over the last month. I've done a marriage retreat. So I actually went to a location in Rome, Georgia called Windshape,
Mm-hmm.
and we did a marriage retreat. And this, I didn't know what to expect there because I've never been on a marriage retreat.
Right.
And that was on the retreat was on sex.
Sets of marriage.
It was God, sex, and marriage.
That's beautiful.
So you're sitting around a whole a group of 40 people,
Mm-hmm.
and you're talking about sex.
That's
And
beautiful.
you know, sex is a hard conversation.
Dog, that is the hardest conversation to have in a group setting,
Yeah,
without question.
It's hard to have in a solo set.
Shit.
And so we'll get into that. We'll get into that in because it was a phenomenal retreat. I've done couples counseling. So shout out to Dr. Sutherland and his wife, because the way our counseling works is you have we're husband and wife, but then our therapists are husband and wife duo.
Well, before you finish, now since you said this publicly, so now I need to get that information because me and my wife,
Retreat, which one is it?
I don't know, something.
So
Something you said, like probably counseling people, the Sutherland guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So
That's a unique
Hopefully,
approach.
hopefully you take Aetna.
I just back Troy up because I've done couples counseling as well, and ours was biblical. So we actually found somebody through the church. The church actually sponsored the first few meetings, the first few sessions, and then we had to pay for the sessions after that. But he definitely was biblical with his approach to our to what we was going through at the time.
Yeah. And then, and when I had my first our first counseling session, I was talking to Travis because I usually say my counseling session, do our counseling sessions, and then I'll go to my brother, because I know he's married, and I'll just kind of say, hey,
He'll dump the knowledge on me.
Huh?
You'll dump the knowledge on me.
I dump the knowledge on you, and it helps me remember how the session went. And we go through a lot of knowledge because, like I said, over the last 3-4 months has been really foundation, but it's been really a game changer for me and our family. And we're gonna share the knowledge with you all. Like I'm gonna be open with it. I'm gonna be vulnerable with it, and we're gonna share the knowledge. I told Travis a lot of stuff that we've done, but I would say the foundation starts with God. Whatever your religion is, whatever your belief is, have something that you can model your marriage off of, and then from there use that as a pillar. And that's where the foundation starts. And the second thing is your family is like an organization. At the end of the day, there's a strong correlation with your family and your business.
Yep.
Like we're a leader of our business. We have employees, we have contractors. You also a leader of your family, and you have a wife, you have children, and the same principles that we apply in business is the same principles that we apply in family. So that's what I like about the combination between family and business, is because the same retro meetings that we have every week,
Retrospective meetings.
is the same retro meetings I have in my family.
Call them retrospective meetings. You might want to explain.
So a retrospective meeting is every week you just figure out ways to improve as a business. And we figure out strategy to say, hey, we learned this over the last week. This is how we improve. Where every week we do the same with family. Every Sunday we have conversations about, hey, here's where we are today. Here's how we can improve. Here's the things that's coming up in the next week, and so forth. So those are the things that I would say is, and that weekly meeting is conversations. That's communication that you constantly have with your wife. I'm gonna say one more thing, and I'm gonna give a story. I'm gonna give a shout out to our therapist for this, because the first thing he said when I talked to him one-on-one was he talked about Adam. Essentially talked about Adam and Eve, the situation of Adam and Eve. And he said, the problem with Adam, it wasn't Eve's fault when she
Ate the apple.
got tempted and ate the apple.
Or
It
fruit.
was that he was passive. He went away.
There's some good stuff. This is about to be a good story right here. This will be a good short. You better give a really good short.
I forgot. This camera shuts off every
Check that camera right there too.
Yeah, check that
light.
light. Traffic got a light.
I just gotta remember, like, get up and put that one back on.
Is that a setting you can?
Be continuous.
Is that a setting you can change or not?
It's supposed to be continuous. We'll just.
Oh, I should probably hand that over.
I'll have to figure that out later. I'm sure it's a setting I can change. I
So,
forgot.
one thing
Change
you
the setting.
said, man, that I thought was impactful to me, that I think a lot of people might have missed, was system. You said, hey, look, man, we got a communication system. Because people think about communication as a one-on-one, happens when you feel like talking, when it's on your spirit, you start talking.
Mm-hmm.
But you literally have a meeting cadence. Like
Okay.
Sunday at this time, every week,
Routine.
we're going to talk about our goals, our objectives, about how we can improve our family. Where we are, what we did last week, what we're doing this week, and any hindrances that got in the way to get you there, which is what we call a stand-up meeting in our business. And so, like, doing stand-up meetings in your marriage
Yeah.
is powerful, because it gives you a time, constructive time, once a week, and it's a planned time that you can do it every single time,
Yeah.
every single week.
And it's funny. So when we came over here on New Year's Eve, and you and your wife talked about that you guys have these meetings every Sunday. So since then, me and my wife, we don't do it every Sunday, but we're doing it every other Sunday. So during that time up, we're like, all right, we start talking about it like this is a deeper conversation. We have a list, like, all right, we'll talk about this when we talk on Sunday. Just so, like, during the week, she's busy, I'm busy. I was
Yeah.
like, this is not the time. And this Sunday, I was like, hey, you got your list of what we talking about? She was like, yep. I'm like, all right, cool. So it's a great weekend, because no football Super Bowl next weekend. But because of the example that you and your wife gave us, I was like, we like that. So me and my wife, even since September, how many months is that? 5 months? I don't know how much that is. But we like that idea. We haven't gotten to the point that we're doing it every week, but every other week is definitely something just to check in and make sure that we're on the path that we want to be as we move forward.
Quick backstory.
Hey, but hold on.
So I got to give a
I
hold
got flowers. I gotta give appreciation, because that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
You dig?
That's what it's all about.
You
Is hey, we just throwing knowledge at each other. If somebody can grab it and use it and better their marriage, that's what this is all about. If somebody can grab it and use it and better their business as well as a married man, that's what this was all about. So I appreciate Hoyt for sharing that.
Yeah, and I was saying backstory because Hoyt said at the meeting. So once a year, and this was recent, it was Troy's initiative. Troy brought it up to me, it's hosted at my place. Once a year, we had a meeting of the families. And so, this is it's real powerful, bro. Like, all the families get in the room and we talk the business of the family. So Troy's family, Hoyt's family, my family, Alan's family, the patriarch, which is Uncle Hoyt or Hoyt's dad, the matriarchs, everybody get in the room and we talk, man, what's the business of the family? And so when you're talking about name dropping, it's strategic moves, bro. Like the Nunley name, the Spruill name, it carries on because we intentionally got together as a family. And a lot of black folks don't have that family meeting to talk the business of the family. At all, bro. Like, at all. And so when Hoyt brought up that, I just want to give a backstory of, like, every once a year, it's an annual, we have weekly the families go off and they have their weekly meetings. But just like in a company where you have an annual board meeting, we have an annual family meeting. And we talk about special dates that's coming up. We talk about opportunities to grow the family and so forth.
And I just want to back up Troy and Travis by saying that these weekly meetings were not something that was taught to us.
I want to talk, yeah.
However, we were learned from our parents what it's like to love another person.
Yeah.
Another human being. We all got parents that were together for as long
years.
as they could be together.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
and they're still together, and it's, you know, it's something that our family holds dear to us. We make sure that our children understand that you find somebody and you keep that person. You don't make a mistake when you find that person. You try not to make a mistake when you find that person. But the first person at least, right? The second one, Hoyt good. Hoyt found what he was supposed to be with. And this is something that, again, he's taking a different approach to this even than he did in his first marriage. Correct?
That is correct.
So, you know, there's like, you know, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again
That's
and
true.
expect different results.
Yeah.
That's called crazy.
Insanity.
The definition of insanity.
Okay? So if something's not working, you know, you've got to figure it out and make an adjustment.
Yeah.
And that's what we've predicated our families on. If something's not working, we make an adjustment. We make an adjustment. Like Troy said, it wasn't always like this.
I wouldn't always like it.
You know what I'm saying? Troy, hit your head a little bit. You got a little bit of yeah, little dust in there.
Yeah,
So the good thing
ash.
about what Troy and his wife discussed, even our parents, like my parents in April will be married 42 years. They're like, hey,
Yeah, my
That's
parents too, over
yeah.
40 years.
yeah, so that's a really good
Yeah,
idea. Even people who've been married 40 plus years, like, hey, that's a good idea. So
Yeah.
So when you see pairs or couples that have been married 40 plus years, and then somebody who's been married coming up on 9 says, hey, this is a good idea, you're like, okay.
Yeah, that was one of the big, like when Troy mentioned, here's how we run our family, that everybody started having questions. Oh, y'all do that? How you know? That was one of the big takeaways from that family meeting, the annual family meeting, was that the fact of how he ran your family. And that was a big takeaway from like this our bro fire, bro. It's like we can take away from each other how we do these you know, family get together, how we run our family.
Yeah, we definitely can take from each other, and I think that that's viable and important for everybody to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough single men out there seeing, you know, brothers that are, I don't want to say got they together, but you know what I'm saying? We kind of,
Yeah,
you know, we got things kind of lined up a
Yeah,
little bit.
we're
you know what I'm
working
saying?
and it's constantly working on it too. you know?
And it's constant work. Let me tell you right now, you can't get married and think, oh, she gonna be like that for 40 years. It ain't happening, bruh.
She ain't gonna be like,
She ain't gonna be like that next year.
she ain't gonna be the next day. What you talking about? Like, man, bro, I can tell you right now, for the folks who haven't got married yet, once you get married, she different on your honeymoon. Like, it's a totally different person, bro, because her, as Troy said to me one day earlier today, the season changed. She was single,
Mm-hmm.
but now she married, and now she got the security. So our whole entire moral compass, like just how she rolled, just changed.
Changed.
So how I've always heard it, people may have heard this before. So women marry men hoping that they'll change. So women marry men that they see potential and they hope they're gonna grow into the man they actually want them to be. Men marry women like, this is what I want, and they don't change. So women marry men hoping they do change, and they don't. Men marry women hoping they don't change, and they do. So it's just different. So that's truly how the women's like, well, I see potential. I can get him to what I exactly want to be. Men marry women like, I love exactly what I have now, and I want this for the rest of my life. And it gets to the point that woman has changed because she has a different thought process.
I don't know. I married my wife based on what I had initially, you know, and she's kind of the same. You know, I've been married. This will be 5 years in 2024. I'm 40 years old, and I've never been married before. I had been previously engaged, and I do have a child with another woman prior to having a child with my wife. And the woman I had a child with, I was previously engaged to. So I tried to, you know what I'm saying, keep my families together. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter, my oldest daughter, she actually lives 5 minutes away from me. So she close.
Which
You
is
know what I'm
awesome.
saying? Hopefully she doesn't go no further. I can't move, but you know, her mother's renting, so we'll see what that entails. But you know, it's funny. My dad always told me, you marry somebody that can help you. You know, Alan, if you ever fall flat on your face, you don't want to have to give up your home. You want somebody that's there that can take over the reins while you trying to figure life out. I married my wife. I told her so let me just go back to my story about my wife in the strip club. um, I was working in the strip clubs, and if you know anything about Atlanta strip clubs, they don't close till about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Later than
And
that, if it's on the east side.
my wife was my wife was my wife at the, my girl well I saw this beautiful smile on this light-skinned freckle faced little shouty through one of my friends. He had a picture of her, and I was like, yo, who's that? He was like, oh man,
Oh, you saw it through a picture.
she coming next month. She coming to visit her cousin next month. And he was married to her cousin. So I was like, oh, no doubt. Let me go ahead. Slid in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? And I just let her, I was aggressive. Yo,
So y'all
I heard you
y'all met
coming.
in Atlanta?
I heard you coming into town.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take you out to eat. What, you got any allergies? You got any allergies? Don't have no peanut allergy on the nigga. And
Or
I'm taking-
seafood, like
You
what?
know what I'm saying? And she hit me with the I don't eat pork.
Oh, seafood.
And I was like, all right, bet. Well, I can figure something out. Took her to this little Italian spot where they got the non-pork lasagna. She loved it. You know what I'm saying? Got a picture of that first, got a picture of our first date. Still got it. And but
So-
I met her because I was able to talk to her because she's from the West Coast.
So you didn't meet her at the strip club?
I didn't meet her at the strip
Oh,
club.
okay. So you and the friend were at the strip club.
Me and the friend was at the time he was filming and I was running the show. So I had hired him to film, and I knew all the promoters because before that I worked for Jack Daniels doing the promotions in the clubs, right? So I knew this promoter, and I knew a lot of promoters, but we was, you know,
But did you know all the strippers?
I knew a couple of them, but not all of them, right? But make the long story short, though, it allowed me to get to know her. I'm literally driving home 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and she just about to go to bed. So I'm able to talk to her for an hour, 2 hours every night as I'm working these jobs, and I'm working every night, right? So we built up this relationship, you know, over a year and a half, almost 2 years before I moved her out here. You know what I'm saying? Before I got her to move out here. And
I got it.
See, I didn't even know the story.
yeah.
In my mind, one time you went to California for some business, and then you met a girl, and then like a couple months later you were engaged. That's the story I had in my mind. I just looked at the story.
So
I
I
had in
was
mind.
dating her before that.
Okay.
And then we broke up. And then she you know, I had demands because I felt like she was the one. And she wasn't ready for that. You know, I was like, yo, I'm coming out there. I'm out here for 2 weeks, shawty, and I'm only seeing you 4 hours every night. You coming home from work at 7 o'clock, you going to bed at 11. What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need more. And she wasn't digging that. She wasn't liking my aggressiveness, dog. She wasn't liking the fact that I was demanding more of her time, right? And her time was really all I was asking for. You know what I'm saying? Was just treat me like I'm your man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. We sleeping in the same bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I didn't put the money on the line to come out here. You know, I even told her, I said, yo, tell your mom and dad I'm serious. Told her mom I was serious. Came out there. They didn't even want to meet me for dinner.
Why is that?
No clue. When I first met her dad, he didn't even want to shake my hand.
Damn.
Wait, man, there's got to be a backstory behind that, bro.
There's whether her dad was whatever her dad was going through at the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether he didn't think I was viable or
Are her parents still together?
So my wife actually, her dad passed away when she was 12
Okay.
or 10. 12 or 10. 12. I want to say 12. Let me just go 12. And so her mom got remarried when she was 16, and they've been together for the duration. Right?
Okay.
So her dad didn't die. Her parents would probably still be together, right? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So her mom had 2 kids, my wife and her little sister. So yeah, I mean, she has no kids with the latest husband. She has no kids with the latest husband.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how the stripper story worked is
Okay.
I found myself dating women in Atlanta, and when we had issues, I was able to bang my way out of the issues. Right? Like I'm gonna beat you down, and then shawty,
I wonder if that was the reference. In my mind, I was like, bang down out there.
yeah, I'm gonna beat
That's
you down.
what I thought, but I'm
And
like,
it would literally take the issues and just throw them under the rug, but they would never get
Yeah,
They would
they're
never
not
get
going
fixed.
away, man.
They
yeah.
never get solved. So I said, you know what? I can't be dating no women from Atlanta because I'm gonna just beat them down, and it ain't gonna do right. It ain't gonna. So literally talk to this girl for a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Via phone, go see her. Try to go see her every other month or something like that, or she'll fly out to come see me or whatever. But it helped me. It helped me get to who she was instead of just what she was. You know what I'm saying? So from there, I was able to decipher and say, you know what? She definitely is a keeper. We broke up. I dated a stripper for a little while because I was still in the strip club dating, doing my thing or whatever. And she called me up one day, and she basically was like, she just said, we need to talk. And that was kind of the start of us rekindling. And that was the first time I ever went back on a chick. Once I feel like once it's over, we could move on. You know what I'm saying? But and it's been work. It's been work, dog. It's been work. Moving her out here, and just soon as I moved her out here, her grandma was asking for a ring. You know what I'm saying? Mama and them, they was like, "When you gonna marry me?"
How long was she out here before you married?
She was out here about 6 months before I got engaged to her.
That's a good.
That's pretty
Once
good,
I got my first contract, my first big boy contract, I went on ahead and bought a ring. And
That's great,
set it
bro.
up.
And that works.
That's not bad. I got a similar story. Cause me and my wife.
Because my thing with Alan, we met your wife at a Thanksgiving, and in my mind, you had known her like
10 years.
no. I
Oh.
thought he had known her like between 3 to 6 months.
No.
Nah.
In my mind, that's what I thought. So
Nah, we
I mean, I understand different now. This is the first time I'm
our
hearing
first
this story.
date was like in February. So if she came, we dated for a few months, broke up, and then we got back together. So we kind of probably was at the time, probably had recently just got dated again. But we had already kind of built something, you know what I'm saying, prior to that. You know what I mean? So, and that doesn't mean I can't tell you what Thanksgiving. I don't know if it was that year or the year I met her or the year after. I don't know what Thanksgiving you're talking about.
I don't know.
We've had so many Thanksgiving since then.
Some things happen every year.
Yep. So
How was long distance?
again, that was something that I wanted because it forced me to find out who you are. Like I gotta talk to you. I gotta ask questions. I gotta, this it's not the call at
And the booty call.
it ain't the booty call, which we all can do the booty call with the girlfriend. Hey, I'm on the way, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Boop whoop de whoop. You know what I'm saying? It was like more like it was really trying to establish. I felt like we were establishing our foundation. To make sure that this was somebody that we both wanted to be with for, you know what I'm saying, that we both liked and wanted to be with.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing about liking and loving. And, you know, that's a whole nother topic, right?
Yeah,
You
whole
know,
nother-
whole nother topic, right?
Love
Liking
is a
and
choice.
love is a choice. You know?
It ain't about the butterflies in your stomach whatsoever. It's a choice you make.
Mm-hmm.
Choice you make
Yeah.
every day.
Now I got a similar story, man. Me and my wife, except mine is a lot more elongated than yours, because he only dated her for what, 18 months before she moved out. We might have dated for 3 years. We might have dated for 3 years before she moved, and then we dated for another 2 years before we got married. So we dated, let's see, I got married in 2018. I met her in 2013. So we dated for we dated for 5 years before we got married. Which is, there's a lot of time. And you know what? And in that 5 years, as Alan said, there's a foundation that happens where you start to learn a person. But bro, I'm still learning stuff about my wife to this day. And we 6 years, you know, about to be 6 years in. And so,
And you will continue to learn them.
and so it's like when we was dating, I would say every 3 months there was something, and it was big things that I learned, like totally big, game-changing situations. I learned something brand new 3 months in, another 3 months in, another big thing, you know. So for me, the long distance was a struggle because I never done a long distance relationship. And a lot of people who've been in long distance relationships, I didn't like it. Like, he was like, hey, look, I got an opportunity to get to know her. It wasn't about sex or anything like that. But long distance, man, you missing something like that quality time, like one-on-one, where I can look in your eyes and know who you are as an individual.
Yeah.
Like, you missing that in
That
the long
snuggle
distance.
time.
Yeah, I mean, it's something about like your love language. Like, if you got a love language of physical touch, bro, you long distance kind of gives you gotta figure it out for at least a short period of time, or a long period of time, in my case, for 3 years before you can figure out that case. Man, bro, y'all want to re-up on some lick?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
just to add to what you were saying, Travis. But the good news between you and Ollie is the wife had to make a sacrifice.
Mike had to make a sacrifice. She had to move.
And they had to move, both of your wives moved to Atlanta, which that's one of the things I saw, is they made a sacrifice for you.
That pallet on.
They trusted you and Island. Island wife trusted Island, and you and Latoya trusted you to be able to say, hey, this is something worth investing in. Even my wife.
You know what, man? I had to give my wife an ultimatum.
oh, I didn't heard this before. Sorry.
She may not admit to this, and I love you, baby. But I had to get her an ultimatum and say, hey, look, if you don't move out, if you don't move, then it's
You trying to progress.
it's not gonna work. Like, ultimately, like, we're gonna be.
Oh, we do have chicken on the. What the hell?
Oh, we got chicken on the grill.
All right, just for the people out there, this would happen when you let the nukes grill. They burn the chicken.
Bro, when I tell you in college, we grilled. I gotta let Troy come back and tell you some of these stories, man. But we grilled. We didn't have a stove in our house.
Oh, wow.
How do you not have a stove?
We didn't have a stove, and we barely had a microwave.
You mean that house that, like, to get to your bedroom, you had to walk to someone else's bedroom?
Yeah, man.
That house is weird.
We pledged in that house. Like, that was our pledging house.
Allegedly.
Allegedly pledged.
Allegedly.
Allegedly pledged in the house. And when I tell you that we did not have, the only way we ate, and we didn't have a food plan with the calf or nothing like that. Only way we ate, we grilled every day. And every day we invite a new group of chicks to come over and eat with us. That was our thing. Like, we would just grill, and we learned how to grill. Our craft of grilling, it was all charcoal because we couldn't afford propane tanks.
Right.
Our only way of grilling was grilling every day. And our only motivation was grilling for a chick.
No stove, no microwave.
No, I love it, dog.
How
I'm
is
serious, bro. This is a real story.
How is this like a room to live in?
I mean, we didn't. I don't know why didn't the stove work?
Well, it was a gas stove, and we wasn't willing to pay the gas bill.
Boy, went from not willing to pay the gas bill to multi-millionaires, boy. Look at this shit
Like,
here,
look, we
boy.
ain't paying the gas
Still
bill.
serving the bottom, boy.
Man, at FAM, how we did it, we just met young ladies, like cool girls we're cool with. They were like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy the groceries if you just come cook the food. That was the big thing. Like,
That was it.
that was it. And girls would come over, cook the food. Like, all you gotta do is cook. We'll wash the dishes afterwards. They're like, yeah.
It's just like a passport bros, dog. You know what I'm saying? You literally just go to the store buying the food. Hey, man, I don't know how to make this, shawty, but, you know, if you can go ahead and whip something up special for you, boy, man, I might take care of you.
And then it's always a great, you find a young lady from different parts of the country, they're like, hey, I'm gonna make taco pie,
yeah.
like some
Get you one from
regional dish. You're like,
Get
what
you
is
one
that?
from Chicago, boy. She gonna make you something different than one from the South. Believe
As long as it's not fish and spaghetti, we good. As long as it's not fish.
Yeah, man. We ate. I don't know how long we ate chicken. Grilled chicken. We might have ate grilled chicken for 6 months
Do
straight.
y'all have a business and like y'all like delivered
Oh,
chicken
yeah.
and,
Yeah, it was
and
our
school?
first business. We lifelong entrepreneurs, man. We've been starting businesses since we was in 7th grade, bro. We used to sell sour
Candy.
straws
Yeah, I remember that days.
until the teachers told us to stop selling it. And so, wait, what was your question? Oh, the Deliver Me Eatery. So in Tuskegee, we started a company called Deliver Me Eatery.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know that you needed to have a food license and do.
This is before Uber Eats.
Before Uber Eats, man, this is back
DoorDash.
2000. This might have been before Facebook, bro. This might have been 2005, 6.
That's what's up.
And we decided, hey, look, we just want to deliver a delivery business that all it did was deliver chicken wings to dorm rooms. That was it. And so we started in our apartment. We didn't know anything about what is it called, the food inspections and anything like that. We didn't know it. We didn't know that's how health scores. We just put flyers, hand printed, like we printed flyers on a cardstock of coupons. And then we went to every single dorm and slid them under the door.
Yeah.
And that's how we got our first. And it was a successful business, actually, but I didn't know how successful it was.
Yeah,
We had Troy girlfriend cooking for us at the time,
Not
his
my
daughter
wife.
wife. Not his wife, his girlfriend.
Disclaimer.
Troy girlfriend was in there cooking. We almost burned down the the apartment complex because we had this big pot. Like one of them big pots, like the way you cook like big soup in, and then we put a whole bunch of oil, in it, and then we was like, man, let's just put it, and we just literally deep fried chicken all night until we almost had a grease fire, and luckily we had baking soda.
Yeah.
We're smart enough.
Luckily, we knew to put some baking soda.
Locally, we knew to put baking soda. Otherwise,
on that joker.
otherwise, the North Carolinians in Tuskegee University would have been burned down to the ground. I'm telling you to this day, bro. Because remember one time we saw a fire. Somebody lit like the veterinarian building on fire or something. I don't know.
Close.
What are you doing at
so-
the veterinary? Like you testing the sheep and light it on fire?
I don't know what happened, bro. It was in flames one time. It was like engulfed in flames. But anyway, man, yeah, that was one of our first companies was Deliver Me Eatery. That was actually, it might have been our second, third company. Now I think
I
about
remember you were selling candy apples at the AKA.
it. Man, AKA's Probate, we was selling pink and green candy apples, man. Get your candy apples. I was going in the thing. Get your candy apples. I had a little plate and the candy apples. I had a styrofoam plate and the candy apples was sticking up and I had it on the. Get your candy apples here.
A little ski-wee apple.
Kiwi apples. Sold out too, man. It's amazing because when you sell a lot of stuff and you like beginning in business, you don't realize that it's a viable, like, it's hard to sell out something.
Yeah,
This reminds me of
the market.
It's hard to prove the market, bro, when you're that young.